What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram. That's t.me/KingofFomo1, as well as my TikTok channel right there on the screen. Now, please do not go FOMO buying immediately into this coin. I know that's what a lot of people do, is they look at my video and they immediately buy way more than they're supposed to. Listen to the entire thing, because I'm going to talk about a lot of these different types of exchanges and these farms, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on everything. We're going to look at Vikingswap first. We're going to look at Donut Finance. We're going to look at Goose Finance, and I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts on these farms and just where I'm going from here. But of course, like, I know a lot of you guys might be like, it's about 50-50. A lot of you guys are very, very happy with what happened with Donut Finance. You guys got a quick, easy 2x. You cashed out and you're waiting for the next one. And I know there's a lot of you guys on the other hand of Donut Finance that are saying, this sucks. I'm never doing any of these farms again. Maybe you bought at $180. It dumped down to $20 and you sold out at $20. So you lost about 90%. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective that I have, because I rode the Donut Finance train all the way up and down as well. And, I'll share with you guys what I think about these things overall. But I do want to go in somewhat of an order and be a little bit organized. So first we're going to talk about Vikingswap, then I'll talk about Donut Finance, and then I'll talk about Goose Finance as well and see where these things are all headed. So first, let's talk about Vikingswap. So Vikingswap is, again, another exchange that is a farm. You can farm the Viking token, and we can take a look at the total value locked, currently $10 million, close to $11 million. And, comparing it to Donut Finance, which hit about 20 million and then dumped down to about 12 million. This thing does have some room to grow. You can also take a look at the market cap right here, about $2.4 million. Again, I think Donut hit about 4 million before it kind of topped out, and it's kind of hovering around, I think, 2 million at the same time right now. So again, a lot of room to grow for the token. The token is cheap at $80. I know I made my prediction for Donut Finance to hit $400, and you guys really have to come up with your own predictions at the end of the day. But we can see a 2x from this thing. We could see a 50% from this thing as well. But I'll get into all that in a second. So let's go to the farms next and take a look at these farms. APY is super high for these. And again, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So if you have a super high APY, I'll tell you why this was really good for me in Donut Finance. You can actually break even a lot faster, and it really protects you against some major 50% dumps. When you have 21,000% APY and you farm for a day or 2 days, and maybe you sell a little bit at the top, maybe you sell a little bit while it's going down, maybe you hold the entire way there, you're much more likely to break even or not lose as much with such high APYs in this. And on the side, like, you can even reduce your risk even more to about a 90% reduced risk by just farming with the pools that do not include the Viking token. I know a lot of people do that, so we can take a look like the BUSD BNB pool, $693,000 in it, and those people are essentially getting free tokens, and that's pretty much paid off within maybe 1 or 2 days, as long as the price of the token doesn't go to absolutely zero, and as long as there's no rug factor with the liquidity pools overall. But we're going to get into some of that information too about why I am currently doing some pretty big farming in here in Vikingswap. So there's a lot of options for you guys to go with. I know that if you're going, the thing is, if you're going to FOMO buy the token, you have to be prepared for anything. You can be prepared for a quick 2x within 5 minutes, 2x within a day. You got to also be prepared for a 90% loss as well. A lot of things can happen with the particular pair token. But another positive thing is there's tons of swing trading opportunities with almost all of these farms. I've seen people lose a ton, and I have lost a ton. But then when I look at it dump down way lower than it's supposed to be, I buy back a ton, and then it goes up 20%, and I make 20% on that ton and equalize myself out. So again, tons of ways to play this. I really can't tell you guys the ultimate strategy. You have to come up with that on your own. But overall, these APYs are really good on Vikingswap. Some other things to take note of here, and again, I really try to look through as much as I can with this. They did do a time lock. So time locks are important because, again, they reduce the risk of rug. Essentially what that means is if the developer decides to do something with the tokens or with the liquidity pool tokens, they put in the transaction. It says, hey, the developer's going to do this, and it's going to execute in X amount of time. So their time lock is 24 hours, so you have a day to see what these developers are going to do. If they're going to rug the entire platform, you're going to have 24 hours to get out before that actually executes and happens. Now, it doesn't mean it's 100% rug proof, but it does really, really, benefit and give a little bit of hope to people that if the platform doesn't have a time lock, there's a much higher chance of bad stuff happening. So that's good. On top of that, what I've been looking for all of these different types of farms is competency of the developers. Essentially, what we'll get into Donut next, but I like that Viking is doing an NFT and offering something different than what the other platforms are offering. This is a huge deal because if you just have a copy paste project that hits $20 million total value locked, and the developer doesn't really do anything else, then it's bound to go down, and people are bound to just jump into the next thing that starts doing development. So as long as Vikingswap gets their NFTs out and continues to do developments, just like with what Goose Finance did, they kind of changed the game with the 4% fee and some of the other stuff, the incubator that the Goose.finance is doing. People are going to stick around with these tokens with developers that actually are doing things. Like we can see in Goose.finance, their total value locked, it did dump, and their price did dump, but it didn't dump as much as Donut Finance, and we'll talk about that as well next too. So overall, I'm looking forward to Vikingswap. And again, go in with a plan. Go in prepared. If you want to, get 50% bonus and sell out, get a 50% bonus and sell out. If you want to hold the token for a while, do that. Because my whole thought process between these types of exchanges is different today than it was yesterday. So I'm really looking at these types of buys like DeGen moves. So you can get a quick 2x and sell out. But just like with what happened with Uniswap was the first decentralized exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. But there were other ones that popped up, like a lot of different types of farms that popped up that did the same thing that we're seeing in Binance Smart Chain. So we saw things like Yam, we saw Kimchi, we saw Uno. All of these things were farms, and they all kind of said they were going to do the same thing. And then we also had Sushi. Now, essentially, these were all pretty much exactly the same when they launched in terms of how much we knew about them, how much we knew about the developers, and what they could do. Now, the only one that came out on top and is currently a top, I think, 50 coin is SushiSwap. So the Sushi token is doing phenomenal. And that's the approach that I'm taking with these types of coins. Yes, I'm prepared for the coin to just be absolutely nothing and for a total loss. But if I can find the one sushi swap in the haystack out of all of these different types of exchanges, I think that it will work out phenomenally in the long run. So that's my way of playing this. It can be DeGen at start, and as time goes on, that's going to really determine what is going to stick around for more than a day, essentially. So that's one perspective that you guys can have. So that's it for Vikingswap. You guys can check this one out on your own. I'm going to be farming this for X amount of time. Could be a minute, could be a day, could be a week. We will see. So next up, let's talk about Donut Finance. Currently sitting at $36. Now, you guys know I made the prediction of $400 for Donut Finance, and it went up to about $200. So it got about halfway there, and it stuck there for about a couple minutes, and then it dumped pretty low after that. So some things happen with Donut Finance that are good, bad, ugly. We can talk about all that stuff in a second. So the good thing is a lot of swing trade opportunity. Like I said, I held Donut all the way up to $200. I didn't sell a penny at $200. I sold a little bit at like $120. I sold some at the top to equalize and not lose too much if it dumped too far. And I ended up about breaking even with Donut DeFi overall. Even like because I went to sleep at night, I woke up, it was $40, and I was like, okay, let me sell off now and see what happens. It dumped all the way down to $20 something, and now it's at 36. And it's been swinging all day long, and the total value locked has been sticking around about $12 million. So if you do lose out, consider buying back in either this farm or other farms, because we've seen it happen in almost all of these things where they go 2x. So if you make 2x on a farm and you put the same amount on the next farm and it goes down 90%, you're still up 10%. So you have to really plan a strategy with these things. These are high risk types of platforms. If you come in hard and heavy and you get hit hard and heavy and you don't really have a contingency plan after that, well, that's totally on you. I can't really help you with that. All right, so with Donut Finance, some other things to note. I'm really looking for developers that can do stuff, and I think one of the reasons why Donut DeFi is crashing and not really doing too much is the devs aren't really communicating too much, and about what they're going to do in the future. While things like Viking are communicating with their NFTs and some other stuff, they're doing actually a way better job talking to their community than Donut DeFi has and is. Another problem with Donut is that the fees that they were using, so the 4% pool fees, are great to have because it really sustains the coin if the developer is using that 4% to repurchase the coin. And what was happening with Donut DeFi is I think they were using a big chunk of that 4% to keep for themselves. And my whole thing is this. It's great if you want to have a developer fee, keep a developer fee. But when you have $10 million, $20 million going into a contract and you keep $600,000, you really have to think to yourself, does the developer deserve that $600,000? Right now, all Donut DeFi is a clone of Goose. It's just a new HTML with a donut picture in there instead of a goose egg picture. That's all it really is. So does the developer deserve $600,000 over the past 2 days for taking those dev fees instead of buying back the token? I don't really think so. Now, it could be wrong if they start doing new stuff and start putting new stuff out there. Then sure, keep the $600,000, but that kind of doesn't rub me the right way when it comes to Donut. And again, I can't be beaten down and say I give up, these all suck, because I know that eventually there's going to be a situation just like with Uniswap and SushiSwap compared to all the other crap farms. There's going to be a SushiSwap on the Binance Smart Chain. So I'm not going to kind of write this off quite yet. So those are my thoughts on Donut. Again, good swing trading opportunities. I saw it at $20 a little bit earlier. You could have made a quick profit from that up to 36. So I'm not saying, sell your Donut right now. But just follow along with the dev and make sure that they're doing stuff to make sure that the coin, I think the coin will die if the dev doesn't do things. That's just my thoughts. And then Goose.finance is, like I said, they're surviving because they are coming up with innovative things. Their incubator, they're communicating, all that stuff. So Goose Finance, I don't think this is written out either. The whole Binance Smart Chain took a pretty big hit. Goose took a hit on top of that, and so did all these other coins. But again, you're going to have some downward days, and there's going to still be a second place to Pancakeswap. And currently it is Goose Finance, but maybe a third place like Vikingswap could come up and take that mantle if they do well. So those are my thoughts on everything right here, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Now, again, I understand, like I said, if you are the person that bought Donut at $180 and you're really, really mad right now, just sit down and rethink your plan, because you can 2x on the next thing and earn that back, or you can just stop altogether if this is not for you. But like I said, I've been saying this in every single one of my videos. This is high risk stuff. If you can't handle the swing trades of this stuff going up like crazy and down like crazy, then don't do it. But if you can swing it and you can profit or just be okay with a loss, then go ahead. There's a lot of things to be able to happen, and as more of these come out, I will be on top of them. As long as they are being innovative, I will be prepared for them. And I'm also going to be prepared for total losses, total rugs, because they're bound to happen with these types of coins. I know there's a couple other rugs that happened earlier today too, and we try to avoid those. All right, guys, that's everything for today. I know this was a long one, but hopefully I covered all the stuff that you wanted to see. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Follow my Telegram channel and all of these platforms' Telegram channels. Make sure you are doing your due diligence with these platforms. Don't wait for me to talk about what you're supposed to do. Figure that out for yourself. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Peace out.